this is a guy we could even see stepping in pretty quickly and not only running our defense, but teaching our defense too.
Yeah, he's a young man. I know you were talking to Coach earlier kind of about stars and everything. He's a prime example of a guy, wasn't heavily recruited out of high school state champion, came in, started for us as a true freshman, and was really productive. Kind of like Coach Crum said, just a football junkie, high-level football IQ, and just, different than anything that we've had, I think, since we've been here. He's one of the more physical linebackers, I've been around. And so, there's an upside for sure that he knows the system as a transfer. But I think the relationship piece is why we're inevitably, able to get him with, Coach Messer and myself, having previously worked with him. So, no, the expectations are high. He'll have to come in and compete for it. That was explained to him on the front end, which he wasn't afraid of that as a true freshman to beat out a senior. So I expect that he'll come in and compete at a high level and elevate the rest of that room.
You mentioned before the portal opened this time around that, last time there weren't as many guys in the spring to go after. You guys seemed to hit the defense pretty hard pretty early. How big was that to pick up some early commitments and build momentum on that side of the ball?
No, it was huge. I think, just from an overall quality of the players that we're bringing in that can, you expect that those transfers can help you immediately. And then, I'm excited. Some of the high school guys, like having, Flowers here and Kilgore here, to get some of those guys mid-year, I think is a big plus. Ahmad, as an example, wasn't a mid-year high school kid that then started as a true freshman. It's a lot easier to play when you're 18 years old, 19 years old, when you get that 6 months. Those 15 practices a spring are usually a bunch of screw-ups when you're a true freshman, but you get that out of the way, and then fall camp, you're ready to really show what you can do. We can see your ability, but it's, can you get lined up? Can you know what you're doing? So, I think that was huge, getting momentum with some of those transfers early, and been able to carry that all the way to the end.
What have you seen from Ahmad? And then on the flip side, a guy just starting his career, what have you seen from Kilgore right off the bat in spring workouts so far, now that they've both made it to campus?
Yeah, I think you'll kind of spend more time talking about Kilgore on that front, just because I've been around Ahmad. But Alex has been really impressive. Just today, prime example, how he competed. He was paired up against an older guy in competition at tour duty, and he competed his tail off. And that's what, kind of throughout the whole recruiting process with him, he's a very serious young man. He's all about business. He's here for one reason, and that's, football and education. I guess 2 reasons, but there's not a whole lot of, frill. He's not a kid that's going to want to put on 18 jerseys and helmet combinations. He wants to play ball, and he wants to get on the field. And I think that mentality and that level of maturity in his approach, it's really hard as a true freshman, I think, to play linebacker and probably safety are probably the 2 hardest mentally to come in, but linebacker in particular. And so, he's very, reminds me a lot of the Ahmad situation as a guy that, early enrolled, that, okay, he could potentially be able to help us in getting the 2 deep as a freshman.
Yeah, on that note, what would it take for him to get into 2 deep?
Well, I think the good thing that he has, right now, is there's not a lot of depth in that linebacker room. You've got, Cam and Jaquanda's played some snaps last year. Obviously, you've got Ahmad coming in, that's 3. So Kilgore's in that room. You've got Kiki Burns, who's played, as an older guy, who's played, limited roles. So, that's a pretty thin room, though, linebacker-wise. We graduated 3 seniors, brought in, signed 2 freshmen and 1 transfer. So, I definitely, we'll keep our eyes if there's a right fit somewhere else that can help us. Whether, that's a junior college guy or a transfer that comes available late, for sure. So I think he's in a situation where he's going to get reps this spring, which is huge for him, to be able to, see his growth and development there.
When you brought in Maurice to join the staff, what stood out to you when you've gotten to know him over the years, and how does he kind of fit into everything now?
Yeah, number one is character, first and foremost. He's a phenomenal person. The right type of morals, the type of guy you want around your staff, makes everybody around him better. And then I think second is just, he's a really high level thinker. He's coordinated. not necessarily from the same background, but he's coordinated and done it at a high level. And so, for us, it was about finding the best fit for our staff, like Coach said. And I've coached backers, I've coached safeties. Coach Cooper's going to be working with me with the safeties. He's working with our nickels, but down the road, Kyle's a really, really good football coach. He's spent more time on the offensive side of the ball, but he can coach anywhere. So, he knows the plan is long term him to be confident in the safety room, where that allows me some flexibility then. With a guy like Mo who has coordinated now that he can go handle the front at times, work run fits, take the backers, and go get it accomplished. And I can work with Ricky on the back end, make sure we're clean there, and we can kind of divide and conquer, so to speak. So, I'm really excited to have him. I think he's going to be a great addition to our staff, and I think you guys will really enjoy getting to know him.
One more for Coach. When you look at the guys that you added today, whether high school or transfer, obviously you weren't the only ones recruiting these guys. Mm-hmm. Was there anyone in this group that you thought you might lose? You thought you're at risk of losing, or you're even surprised to have added in this group?
Every single one. No, I mean, if you want an honest answer, that's what it is. Alex Kilgore had Big 12 options close to signing day. Day had SEC options. Same thing for Flowers as far as Power 5. I think this is a really strong signing class, and I think every single one of these guys we had to work really hard. Even guys like Chris Megason, we had a relationship with, but he had ACC offers. Ahmad had ACC opportunities and different levels. So it wasn't easy to get. I think our coaching staff worked really hard. I think there was about a 6-week stretch right there from the season winding down till we got a break last week. That it was nonstop, and it was every single day. And I think enough credit can't be given to obviously the recruiting department, those guys evaluating, but the individual position coaches, as well as the support staff guys, the GAs and QCs off the field that helped in this process. I know that sounds facetious, but there were in the 11th hour, almost every guy that we signed, it was kind of, okay, are we sure we're going to get him here? So they're really excited about what we have, and I think we've got a lot of talent already on our roster, and then this influx of talent has got a chance to make us pretty special.
Okay, thanks a lot.